For this project, you'll need a pencil, an eraser, a Sharpie marker, and a pair of scissors. This chair sits empty, symbolic of its absent owner. In this artwork, you can see clues that let us know who may have been sitting there. In this artwork, we're going to be creating our own Vincent van Gogh chair in a pop-out form. The first part of this project will be creating the chair itself. The second part, designing the background and leaving clues about who we are. And finally, the third part will be adding color. Let's get started on creating this pop-out version of Vincent van Gogh's chair. To begin, you'll need to have your paper going portrait in front of you. Take the bottom of the paper and fold it up in thirds. You can see that I'm leaving about the same amount of paper as I am folding. Once you fold your paper, the next step is to make 2 cuts on the bottom of the fold. Take your scissors, come over towards the center. Again, we're going to cut in thirds. So I'm going to cut 1 here, and then I want the same distance over to make my other cut. And now I have cut the bottom into 3 pieces. So for a recap, take your paper, take the bottom of the paper and fold it over so that you have the same amount of paper left as you're folding. Line it up on the sides and crease it. Once you've done that, you'll be making 2 cuts that will divide the bottom fold into 3 sections. Try to get them as even as possible, but they don't need to be perfect. Notice also that I didn't cut all the way through to the top. I stopped my cut before I got to the top. Once it's cut, you're going to pull the center up and crease it the opposite direction. Then, at the bottom of where it is, you want to crease it at the bottom. So I made a crease here by pushing it forward as far as I could and creasing it with my finger. The same thing with up here. Right now it doesn't have a crease. So I need to press this forward so that I can crease it underneath. So now there's a crease at the top. I changed the crease in the middle, and there's a crease in the bottom. So now it's popping up. The first part of this project is drawing the chair. There are 3 parts to the chair. This part is going to be the legs of the chair. This part is going to be the seat of the chair. And if you can imagine another square right above, that's going to be the back of the chair. For the second part of this project, you want to start working on some details that would show that this is a chair that would possibly be in your house or your room. And so when I look around my house, I see plants and other things. And so I'm going to draw a plant on my ground line. Notice that I went ahead and drew a line on the fold for my ground line, and I have my plant sitting on the ground line. I'm going to draw some possible things on the wall behind my chair. I can draw things on the floor of my chair. I can even draw a detail on my chair itself to show that this might be my chair. Now, since we've been in quarantine, I've been doing a lot of painting. Not artist painting, but painting of my walls. So I think that's some of the details I'm going to add into my work. Once you've added all the details that you want to your work, you can add a tile floor just like Van Gogh did. To do that, make sure that you draw lines, but if something's in the way, you jump over them. This part can be a little tricky. Now, when you get to your chair itself, leave the top section without anything in it. The other sections you can pretend like they're part of the floor. So first I'm going to start with my diagonal lines going this way, and then I'm going to turn and I'm going to work on my diagonal lines going the opposite way. Remembering that if I hit something, jump over it and finish the line on the other side. Now, I suggest you do all of your drawing in pencil first, so that if you make a mistake, you can adjust it. And then Sharpie over your lines if you want to. Now, I didn't leave anything part of the floor in this work, in this part of my chair. Keep that in mind. Now you're ready for your color. Take your time and add your color however you want. Remember, you don't have to finish this artwork in one sitting. If you're tired of working on it, stop and work on it at another time. I think you should break it down into 3 parts. Draw the chair one day, draw your details the next, and then work on your color on the 3rd day. The last step is to take a picture of your artwork. Now for this artwork, because it's a pop-up, find a place in your house where a counter meets the wall. For me, it's my kitchen. Maybe it could be a dresser against a wall. Line it up and put your camera in front of it. And then take your picture.